How many of you listening out there can't believe how fast this year is flying by? I mean, it's already almost the end of August. Olympics is done. Everything is just flying by at rapid speed. For me too, I can't believe that summer is over. For those of you that have been following me, you know that I will be starting school. Actually, when this episode gets released, that will be my first week in the PhD program. And with starting anything new, I'm excited, nervous, don't know what to expect, but at the same time ready for the challenge and looking forward to sharing all of the things that I'll be learning about. Hopefully things to help reach more people and help them to elevate their performance. Stay tuned to this episode. I want to give a brief update and also share all of the things that I'm looking forward to and that you can look forward to, all of the content that I'm creating and everything that's coming out in the near future. Welcome back, everyone, to the HNL Movement podcast. For all of the new listeners, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, take a look back at all of the previous library of episodes, from great guest conversations to solo topics to everything that's geared to helping you to optimize your performance. All of the returning listeners, welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another episode. Today's episode is a brief update. And I wanted to give everyone a heads up as to some of the things that I'm going to be working on and what to expect for the rest of the year in this fall semester for me, or the second half of 2021. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I will be officially starting my fall semester when this episode airs. And this is my PhD program at the University of Hawaii in kinesiology and biomechanics. If you haven't heard the backstory of that, check out the previous podcast episode back in May and also take a look at my YouTube channel. The trailer on my YouTube channel shares a little bit about what I'm doing, what I look forward to this fall semester, and how I plan to share all of this information with everyone that's following out there. So I'll keep this episode short and sweet, but I am very excited, at the same time nervous, and gotta get back into the flow of schoolwork and going to classes and studying, and also trying to do all of the things that I do here. The podcast, running my business, still working with a select few clients throughout the semester, and I always look forward to that face-to-face in-person interaction. But at the same time, I know that it is going to be challenging. It's going to get busy, and I don't want to spread myself too thin. I feel that throughout my career, directing a clinic, before that working in the NFL as a seasonal intern, I'm used to keeping extremely busy and filling up my plate as much as I can tolerate. But I want to make sure that I don't spread myself too thin moving forward. So it's going to be a lot of time management, finding that balance so that I have time to do all of the projects that I'm doing for school and of course outside of school, and still being able to take care of myself as well. For those that are interested, I want to share just a little bit about what my fall semester looks like. So I will be taking 3 classes, and I'm already registered, going through the last steps to prepare for the fall semester. But I am taking, it's a lot of things that we're diving more in depth to topics that I studied in grad school, and also refreshing me on research methods. So I'm taking 3 classes. The first class is going to be Cadaver Anatomy, focusing on upper extremity, head, neck, and spine. Really looking forward to this. So as a grad student, I only learn anatomy through the book. We don't have any cadaver anatomy. We just touch on the basics. Nothing that we're actually studying 3D models even. We're just doing it through the book, pictures, and just practicing more clinically, recognizing anatomical structures and how it relates to athletic training. So I am very excited that I will be going more in depth. I think it's a good refresher. I feel like I have a good grasp on anatomy, but I know that this course is going to be extremely challenging in a good way. The second course that I'm taking is exercise physiology. So of course, I've taken that long time ago, actually as an undergrad student. But again, this is going to be way more in-depth and advanced. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to, because I want to tie all the experiences that I've had with the base knowledge from the undergraduate course and tie that in with all of the things that I've experienced over nearly a decade at this point, and tie it back into some of these concepts and also see how the field has evolved and progressed. I think that's the most exciting thing for me, is to really revisit and expand my knowledge of exercise physiology. And then the third class that I'm taking, So long time ago, it was actually in 2011, so 10 years ago, we had to take research methods. Even though my master's program, it was an entry-level graduate athletic training program. So it wasn't very intense with the research. It was more just giving us the skills to become a certified athletic trainer, pass the board exam. So we did not do as much research in that master's program, but we still had to take research methods. So now being 10 years later, and I haven't done much research, we needed a way to get me up to speed and as a refresher course. Now I can't take the same research methods course that I took at UH, so I had to find another course with the help of my advisor in a different department, and I am going to be in that qualitative research methods course. So that is something that I know I'll probably have to put a little bit more work into, especially since I am going to be doing a lot of research in the next 4 years. I want to make sure that I brush up on that. But those are my 3 classes. So pretty much I have 1 class a day, 3 days a week. And I have a research assistantship position that we're still trying to figure out exactly what my schedule will look like, because as everyone knows across the US and especially in Hawaii, there has been a recent surge of COVID cases. So that is something that we are going to figure out, I'm assuming, in the near future. But I am looking forward to all of these new, exciting change of scenery, different opportunities, and getting back into that mix of things, really trying to study, apply the new knowledge that I'm learning and apply it to what I'm doing on my podcasts, through social media, what I'm doing working with my athletes and my clients in person. So that is what I'm looking forward to this fall semester. Now, like with anything else, I have a pretty good idea of what I think I'm going to expect this fall semester, but until you actually get in the mix of things and you're in the day-to-day grind, it's really hard to say exactly what it will be like. So that's something that I will give updates on too, how I'm navigating through the new schedule, the new lifestyle, and you can check out all of that. I'll put it up on my YouTube channel, probably some snippets on Instagram, and every once in a while give some updates on my podcast or in my podcast episodes. I do want to give a tip that I'm going to focus on, and this will probably help a lot of you out there with whatever your schedule is like right now. I don't want to just talk about what my fall is going to be like this whole episode. So here's the tip. I'm going to focus a lot on time management. And I think it's something that even if you're really good at managing your time, there's always things that might work a little better. And that's going to be one of my big mindsets in the first couple months, probably the whole fall semester, is to really focus on things that might help my overall schedule and lifestyle, and how can I improve that just a little bit more. And this goes from everything from studying, making sure that I allocate adequate time for studying, any other commitments that I have to do, figuring out my schedule, training my clients and my athletes, focusing on creating the podcast episodes, editing that, all of this, it all takes time. And the time management, you've heard me mention this in previous episodes, it's really creating a priority list of what you need to prioritize and making sure that you fill that into your schedule first. So obviously for me, the commitments that I have to be there in person, like my class schedule, certain meetings, other events that I need to attend, I need to put that in as soon as possible so I see how my schedule is going to fill up. After that, it honestly probably would be studying. So studying, making sure I have allocated time that I'm going to focus on studying, and then filling in all of the other things like my business, family time, making sure that I have time to work out. Even if I have to abbreviate certain things, as long as I'm not cutting corners, that's something that I need to plan into my schedule. And the reason why I bring up this point and share this point is because everyone's going to have a lot of commitments that they have to do. And when it comes to what I'm trying to share, taking care of your body, taking care of your health, creating sustainable nutrition habits, making sure that you have time to exercise, you have adequate sleep, you have time to recover, even have time to wind down, do things that are fun for you, leisure activities. That's all important. And maybe I might not have as much time as what I've had this summer, but I can abbreviate and make sure that things work in my schedule. And I think a good example of this is exercise and workouts. If I've been working out for a little over an hour, 4 to 5 times a week over the summer, that I know already might not be feasible, or probably won't be feasible with how many things I got going on. So it's always just, okay, how can I condense this? How can I make it more efficient? Remember, more time allocated to something, that does not mean that it's the most efficient use of time. So I can condense my workout programs maybe into a 3-day-a-week workout program and condense the things, still prioritize what I want to focus on with my workouts, but you still can get a lot done. And I think scaling back sometimes and doing that consistently, that's a better option or a better plan than trying to do too much, keeping my 4 to 5 times a week and being inconsistent with that. So you want to create a realistic plan that will help you to address all of the things that you need to do, and also helps you to not only benefit from your activities, but also makes it as efficient as possible when it comes to utilizing that time. In this case, what I'm talking about is exercise and working out. But you can apply that to really anything that you have going on in your life. Nutrition habits, sleep habits, studying, working, taking care of your kids, creating content, podcasts like this. So it's just trying to be a lot more efficient. And oftentimes I find that when you don't have as much time, it's very important to make use of every single minute and hour. You need to figure out what's the best use of time. And that's so that you can actually tolerate and manage everything that you have on your plate without getting burnt out again. So that's the tip of this episode, and something that I will probably share as I go through my new lifestyle and new schedule with all of you. Now, I wanted to finish off with a few updates. And this is where, thank you again for all of the support, those that have followed me along, have checked out, all of the content that I've been putting out. And what I want to share is that I'm going to still focus on this and find ways that I can try to communicate this high quality, good content with all of the viewers out there, listeners out there. So I'm asking everyone that's listening to this, please share this episode or share one of the episodes that has helped you in some shape or form along your journey, and share that with a family, a friend, or multiple people, because these are going to be the avenues that I'm going to keep producing this quality content to help more people. And I would like to hear some feedback too. Feel free to contact me on social media or email me through my website, or you can email me directly at andrew@hnlmovement.com. And what I want to hear is feedback, questions, things that you want to learn more about, and anything dealing with rehab, sports medicine, strength and conditioning, sports nutrition, or overall just trying to train and perform better at whatever your sport or your activity is. Those are the topics that you can find me diving in further about and making a lot more content that is specific to trying to give you some quality information again. So where can you find all of this content? Of course, my podcast. Please help me grow the podcast, share, subscribe, leave a helpful review if you haven't. That would really mean a lot to me. But I am going to start to expand my YouTube channel. And if you check at this time, you notice that I'm starting to get all of my podcasts, highlight clips up there, the video form, and there's a lot of great snippets and gems from all of my guests. I'm starting to upload that on a daily basis. I'm also working on everything from giving you exercise instruction, injury information, product reviews, mini workout routines, from core workouts to active recovery routines to rolling out and loosening up, anything like this that will help to get some of the information that I'm used to working with people face to face. And the best thing about it is that YouTube, all of you out there are going to help me grow and spread this information. And that's what I want. I want to try to get more information out there. And of course, I don't have the answer or solution to everything, but I just want to share my perspective, some of the things that I'm working on, and share it out there to the public. Because all you have to do is log onto YouTube and you can just access information right there. It's the easiest way for me to share some of the things that I'm working on. And don't forget, if you like what you see, please share it again with family, friends. Hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and subscribe. I'm going to need everyone's help to really help to get this information out there. And again, that's the one focus of me going through a PhD program. is to, of course, learn about my passion, but it's to get that information out there in a relatable and simple way to help everyone out there that wants to improve their quality of their life, live their active lifestyle that they want to live. So that's what I'm focusing on moving forward. So be sure to check out that. Check out my social media, check out my YouTube channel. Help me to spread the word. I would really, really appreciate it. And the last thing that I want to say is I realize, as I mentioned, my schedule is going to get busier. So everyone just be patient with me. I plan to put out high quality information, but I might scale back on the guest interviews for the next few months or so until I figure out my schedule. I still do have guest interviews. It just takes me a while to edit, and I might not be able to do it at the frequency that I have been doing, which is about 2 guest interviews a month. But I will have these guest interviews because I love talking to them. Great stories, messages that a lot of us can relate to when we're listening to the podcast. But overall, I will still have some short episodes every week, even if it's a solo episode, and I promise to put thought into it and make it worthwhile with something that I want to share, something that I'm working on or experiencing in that moment as well. That is what I wanted to share in this episode, and that's what the fall semester holds for me. I'm excited to get started. And when this comes out, I will have started. So stay tuned for more. Please go check out my YouTube channel. You can just search for my name, Andrew Takata, or you can search for HNL Movement. And be sure to hit the subscribe button, start to share this, join my email list because I'll send more updates through email. And you can do that on my website at hnlmovement.com. Overall, take care of yourself. Keep on improving your health and your performance. And I thank you again, everyone, for your support. I will be back here, same time, same place next week. Until then, aloha.